One of the most widespread myths in existence is that your academic performance depends mainly on how long you spend studying. Although there is some truth to that, it's so far from painting the full picture that I'd say it is actually misleading. Here's a thought experiment that you can do to disprove this myth. Imagine if there are two people of the same age and everything were put into a room together. Person A is someone who is academically brilliant. Maybe he's like a genius, accomplished scientist, or even just your nerd classmate who always gets top grades. And person B is someone who struggles academically. They can't really focus for long amounts of time, and frankly they have no clue to even study aside from like reading and rereading the book or something. Now give both of these people a textbook on the same subject and give them an hour to just sit and study it, and then give them a test on the topic. Who do you think will get the higher grade? Both of these people start with zero knowledge about the subject they're going to study. And yet every single time, person A is gonna do better on the test than person B. How could this happen if both of them studied the exact same amount of time? The only logical conclusion is that the time you spend studying is far from the most important factor in getting good grades. This is the next script from the ebook I just finished writing on how to get top grades while only studying 1 hour per day. In the book, I explain how to become consistent in studying every day, how to maintain a high level of focus for the full hour, and what studying techniques to use to get the most out of this hour, so you can actually accomplish your academic goals with only 1 hour of studying per day. And in this video, I'll just give you the exact steps from the book that you need to follow in order to get top grades while only studying 1 hour per day. 1. Determine your goal. Ask yourself, why do you even want to get top grades? Once you figure out the answer, write it somewhere where it's always visible to you. 2. Make sure you get 8 or more hours of sleep every single day. Try to exercise regularly and eat less processed food as much as you can. This will all improve your focus and memory. 3. Determine a place and time in which you will study. Pick a place where you will likely not be interrupted or distracted, and pick a time where you will not be tired. This could mean waking up earlier every day to study and doing your studying at a cafe or a workspace. 4. Determine a day of the week where you will only review everything you've already studied, and determine another day where you will only do flashcards. As you approach your exams, you can increase the number of those days, and on every other day you will just study the material normally. 5. Before you start a study session, write down exactly what you plan to accomplish during it. Then set your phone to do not disturb, set a timer for 1 hour, and just put your phone out of reach of you. 6. If you're just starting out and you're struggling to focus for a full hour, then only do 5 minutes of studying today. Then the next day, increase that by 5 minutes, and then keep increasing by 5 minutes every day until you eventually reach 1 hour. The next steps involve what you actually do during studying. 7. Go through the material, which is either your textbook or your lectures, using the elaborative interrogation method. This is when you always ask yourself why and how question on every single piece of information you come across, and then you look for those answers and write them down somewhere. 7. Create a small summary of the topic by only noting down the key information. Your summary should be less than half, or ideally less than third, of the original material. 9. After you've done that, use the Feynman technique on the topic. This is basically when you try to explain what you have learned to someone else or like to yourself. 10. Optionally, you can turn your summary into a mind map. Try to turn the information into diagrams and to find relationships between the key concepts. If this is too time consuming for you, you can do it as a form of reviewing instead. 11. Create flashcards out of the information that you need to memorize. Make sure it's only that kind of information and you're not just making flashcards on things that you can deduce logically. 12. Answer practice questions and note down the question that you answered incorrect. This could be done as a form of studying or reviewing, but either way, I really recommend doing it while reviewing as well. This could be your main form of reviewing. 13. On the designated days where you decided you will do flashcards or you will review, do only that, and never skip those days, or else you'll forget everything you studied. 14. After you've done studying, note down in a habit tracker that you have studied for today. Then try to intentionally defocus by doing something like going on a walk. 15. If you miss a day of studying, this isn't the end of the world, but it's important that you don't try to make up for it, because then the next day you'll be like, okay, I'll study 2 hours today, and you might not do it, and then you'll just get overwhelmed. Don't do that. Just make sure you don't skip any of the following days. 16. Aside from this hour of studying, don't forget to attend your classes and do your assignment, and basically do everything else that you require to actually pass the class and get high grades. If you follow all of these steps, then you are guaranteed to get top grades while studying only 1 hour per day. The most important thing about this process is the consistency. You need to do this every single day, and you need to follow these exact steps. or else it might not be effective enough to work. Treat it as a marathon rather than a sprint. Now, I explain all of these steps and concepts in detail in my ebook, which you can get in the first link in the description. And if you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads. Do your best out there and good luck.